Hello, this is Tannen Auto Electronics again. Today we're going to show you how to install and calibrate the discontinued F-type air core motor for the 1995 to 1999 GMC, and Chevy instrument clusters. This new motor is specifically designed for the 1995 to 1999 models. This automotive gauge motor is complete plug-and-play replacement for the original F-type air core motor. It offers smoother and more precise movements, and because it's digital, there's no need for oil, or you won't find any leaking oil like the OEM part. We're confident you'll be highly satisfied with this new replacement motor. In order to start the disassembly process, here are some tools you're going to need. A needle removal tool, which can be purchased at our store at tannenautoelectronics.com. Some alligator clips, a T7 torque spit driver, and the motor you're going to replace, which in this case is the F-type air core motor. To start the disassembly process, we're going to first remove the instrument cluster lens. It does have two tabs on the right and then one tab on the left side. And what you want to do is just push away from the or separate the front lens from the back base of the cluster. And once that's done, it will just pop out. So here are the two on the right, and then the single on the left. I'll show you on this side as well. So all you have to do is kind of push on the tab, and I'll kind of push it forward, and it will be an easy removal there. Our next step is going to be to remove the fuel needle. So what I like to do is get the removal tool and then just slide it below the needle and then just prop it up. Once that's done, we can go to the next step in removing this front face. Our next step is going to be to remove this front black gauge face, and to do that I'm going to show you some places where you can use a flathead screwdriver to prop it out from the back. And this first spot right here is going to be right here. And you can see that there's some clear plastic behind this black face here, and then the other part is going to be right here, and those points are important just because if you go to some other spot, like let's say on this upper right hand corner, it's just plastic, it's just a face, it doesn't have any backing to it, whereas here if we use a small flathead, we can kind of guide it towards the back and then prop it out, so. And then you could also use a bigger flathead like this one, and you want to go as slow as possible just so you apply force closer to where the stepper motor is, like that. And what you're actually doing is releasing all the motors from the back of the unit, which they just plug in back here. Once the two parts have been separated, there is this ribbon cable right here from part of the odometer that needs to be unplugged. It does have a tab, and then when you press on it, you can just pull it out like so, like that. And then from here you can work easier or have more accessibility to all the stepper motors if you're replacing them. In this case, we'll continue to work on the fuel motor, and then here is when you're going to use a T7 driver, which is this one. So you'll remove the two screws on each side. And then here you also want to confirm the type of motor. In this case I confirm ahead of time, but it will be on the first row, and then the first character here you'll see an F, and that tells you what type of motor you need. Once we have it removed, we'll get a replacement motor, and these only go one way, so you'll put it on top of, or you'll insert it, but the screw holes will only align in one way. If not, it won't let you put in the screws. So in this case I had to flip it, and now the screw holes are aligned. so you can screw the motor back in. After this, you can plug in the ribbon cable. And then before we put this front face back on, the stepper motor, our stepper motor does have some indicators on each pin. So here it has 1, 2, 3, 4. So you do want to make a note of the pin numbers before you put it on. So if we put it on from the back side, I took the liberty of labeling them, but in this case it's 1, 2, 3, 4, which will come into play when we calibrate the needle itself. Okay, so now we're going to insert all the air core motors back on. Just make sure that the ribbon cable is not getting pinched or anything, and make sure to guide it below this plastic part. And then you just want to insert it how you removed it, and just make sure that all the pins are lining up to the not the connectors, but the metal tabs there. Just want to make sure you push fully so they're all seated. And then you can visually inspect that all the metal tabs or prongs are inserted on all the stepper motors. So now before we plug everything back on, you'll want to use the alligator clips and then put them on pin number 2 and then pin number 1. Essentially shorting pin 1 and 2. And then you'll want to install this in your vehicle. And it's okay that the pins 1 and 2 are like that, and it's just for calibration purposes. And after that, the alligator clip can be removed. So I'll show you the next step. So here I have connected the cluster to be bench tested, and this is going to replicate exactly how you have your instrument cluster installed in your vehicle. So at this point you should have it connected, and when you turn on the vehicle, it should have the backlighting on and the rest of the gauges should go to their appropriate places. But we have to calibrate this fuel gauge. So again, the alligator clips are connected to pin 1 and 2 and turn on your vehicle. And then after the instrument cluster has powered on, you want to set the needle on empty, so in this first orange line, and then you want to push it as far as it'll go. So right now it's on the empty line. It could seem a little bit off on the video, but it's just the angle. And once it's installed like that, turn off the vehicle and then turn it on again, just to make sure the needle goes to empty again. So after you've verified the calibration and that the needle goes to the empty line, you can turn off the vehicle, and then after that you can remove the alligator clips and put on the instrument cluster lens, and the fuel gauge should be calibrated now. And that's all. Thanks for watching.